things always happen in this city. It's common. Living here means accepting the feasibility that at any moment, danger and terror could be waiting around the corner, but you never expect to be caught in the middle of it. A few years ago at one of our high school Halloween dances, the danger that we are all accustomed to hit home certainly closer than usual. Now, we're no stranger to the term weird, right? How can we be? We've witnessed encounters that people only see on television and in movies. But that day at the dance, when that monster invaded us and caused problems for our heroes, I sat fearful as I watched from the news because I had just been merely a few feet away from this monster. I watched as he ripped through our town without a care for our existence. I looked on in sheer terror as he hit our Power Rangers over and over and over. And just as my hopes for a victory had dwindled, he appeared, the Green Power Ranger. And he majestically swooped in and began to play his dagger, calling upon his companion dragon. And my shock turned to relief as he saved the Power Rangers, and he saved us, and he saved this town. And that's just one of the many things that he has done for this city.
I remember stories that my family would pass around as if it was part of our family memoirs. I listened and I watched. I listened and I watched until these heroes, well, this hero, began to feel like family. I witnessed several battles growing up. I was just a kid observing from the sideline. My fascination only grew as I got older. I mean, I noticed things. I even noticed when the Green Ranger just vanished. I mean, completely disappeared. And this wasn't nothing new. I mean, this was something that he had did before. But I guess it was the space in his absence is what it made it feel like he was gone for good. And then one day, this new ranger appeared. I mean, he was a different color, but he had the same mannerisms. I mean, I had seen those kicks, flips, and punches before. I knew he had returned. And I knew he wouldn't leave us or even the city ever again. I can't believe I'm here saying that I was wrong.
Sorry.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's fine. I was just leaving.
Overwhelming?
Excuse me?
This all seems to be a bit overwhelming for you.
What makes you say that?
Well, you're here, alone, not in the other room with everyone else grieving together. And from the looks of it, you're wrestling with something. I suppose we all are.
Oh, this is all just a bit too much for me, alright? Which it shouldn't be. I mean, we've all dealt with loss. Experienced the loss of a loved one. It's not like he was a friend or a parent, even a colleague. Never even talked to each other. We don't follow each other on social media. Why does it hurt just as bad?
You know, when I first moved to Angel Grove, the only thing people ever used to talk about was this group of heroes that would go around the city, saving lives, protecting families, and not only defending us, but the entire world. And when you hear these stories as the new guy in town, you don't take the time to think about the impact those individuals have on the people they protect. It never crosses our mind that those same hidden heroes that we idolize as saviors occupy a place in our heart that we didn't even know enough space existed. I guarantee they wouldn't shift from a moment of struggle. Why would you?
So we're about to conclude, and is there anyone else that would like to come up and tell a story or share their experience or simply just come up and...
I have a few things I want to say. I was 6, maybe 7. I was leaving the mall with my dad. The weather was one of the best days we'd had, because I remember holding my ice cream in one hand and my dad's hand in the other. And we were maybe 5, 7 feet from the car before an explosion rattled the entire parking lot. I instantly cried. Not from the gravel that was shivering uncontrollably beneath my feet, or the sound so loud it caused my hearing to leave me for moments, but because I dropped my ice cream. I don't know, a 6-year-old had ice cream. That was Willy Wonka's golden ticket. And I lost mine. But I didn't have long to dwell on my tragedy before my father grabbed me, both arms, gazing at me with a fear that I didn't understand at my age. We gotta go. We gotta run. I kept saying over and over again as my hearing kept going in and out due to the sound. So when he launched me into his arms and he sprinted for that mall entrance, and I locked eyes with that monster. It's like he'd been ripped right out of one of my worst nightmares. That I fully understood the fear my father felt. The fear didn't let me look away. I could just watch as it toppled cars, terrorized bystanders, and created a chaos that I didn't even know was possible. Hope is a relatively new emotion at that age. It only comes in the mere moments to express how badly we want something we're fond of. I hoped for McDonald's. I hoped for Santa to bring me the toys on my Christmas list. But in that moment of fear, I just remember hoping that we would make it home safely. And somehow, that tiny bit of hope that 6-year-old was able to muster worked. In a flash of green light, it lit up the sky. He was there. The Green Ranger. Clear as day, right in front of me, taking on that creature. On his own, as I was cradled in my father's arms. It was that moment that was the first moment that I saw what would become my hero. I'd never seen anything like it before. The gold of his shield, it almost sparkled in the sunlight. That green, it was so vibrant. It was like a comet come to life. And what he did to that creature, and what he did for all of us on his own, that is still something that sticks with me to this day. And I mean, growing up, Halloween costumes were an easy pick. It was him. Luckily, my mom had enough imagination to meet the creative desire that I had. But I guess the question is, how can you be so enamored by an individual you've never met? How can you be so in awe of a stranger who doesn't even know you exist? I mean, we all love the Ranger team. But there was always something about him. And that gave me a bit of peace. You know, knowing that he would always be there, helping, fighting, and influencing a generation of fans. I mean, I'm a fan! We all are. That's why we're here. And the impact that this Ranger has left not only on us, but the entire world, that is so immortally everlasting that it doesn't matter whether he is alive or dead. That is actually my first time using that word in relation to him. You know, we sit here and we don't realize that these individuals are people with families and loved ones and lives outside of what we expect them to be. But he lived for us. His life centered around the well-being of this city and every one of us who inhabit it. So it doesn't matter what Ranger comes after him. Thank you for shaping the foundations of my childhood and my adulthood and the future to come. You have inspired everyone to be the kind of hero that you have shown yourself to be.
high.